Hi guys, decided to do a different kind of thing this time, almost completely, not book related. I thought I'd do a November favourites. This is the first time that I have done a favourites video. I have watched a few of them on YouTube, but mostly by sort of big YouTubers like Tanya Burr or who's the other one, Zoella, people like that. So they tend to be very beauty focused. I would love to see some more that aren't beauty focused. So if you do have one of your own, leave a link and I will go and check them out because it will give me great ideas for next time. So the first thing on my favourites for November is a favourite book that I read, which was Delirium by Lauren Oliver. I'd love to have a copy of it and wave it around like this, but I read on my Kindle so I don't. So have a lovely picture of the cover. I recently did a review of Delirium, so if you want to, go check it out. It's somewhere, I don't know, maybe I'll leave a link. But basically it's a story where love is sort of considered to be a disease, the world is love-free, it's cured, everyone's cured, and it's about teenagers that are yet to have the cure and their experiences and their lives. Obviously, love is a very dominant theme. It's a young adult book, so there is, that, I don't know, immaturity and naivety around love, but it was a really blooming great story, it was. I loved how it was written. It sort of built up slowly. You got really connected with the main character, and I could not put it down towards the end, and that hasn't happened to me in a really long time. So I read a lot of books, and it almost reached Hunger Games levels, or The Shining, where books that I literally read in a couple of days and just all the time, carrying the book everywhere. Not quite, but it did almost reach that level. I really recommend it to people, especially if you're into young adult stuff. I think if you're not really, you're probably not going to like it. I'm not generally a fan of romance books, and I enjoyed it, so I sort of think don't let that hold you back. But it was the most irritating bit, was the sort of over-the-top love. So if you're not into romance, tread carefully. But if you're not into romance and you're not into young adult things, stay well away. But otherwise, really good, easy reading, enjoyable read. So everyone should go and read it, seriously. So the second item on my favourites this time is nighttime tea. I'll do a nice close-up for you so you can have a good look. This was recommended to me, not this brand, but sort of tea to help you sleep was recommended to me by somebody I work with. I'd been having some trouble sleeping, had a stressful time recently, and I talked about going to the doctors and seeing what they could do. And she said, oh, why don't you try sleepy tea? So I went and bought this one. It is Pucker Nighttime, and it says a dreamy bed of organic oat flower, lavender and lime flower. Now I don't know about you, but when I read that, it terrifies me. I think there is nothing I want to drink less than a bunch of flowers, but I really like it. The first time I had it at my parents' house, and it made me feel literally sick. But then we discovered that there was a problem with their water, so it was probably that. So I was brave enough to try it. I was all ready to literally throw it in the bin and never look at it again. But I did try it again, and it was much better. I'm not a fan of herbal tea at all. I think if it weren't for the fact that the calming effect that it has, I wouldn't try it. But in order to get the benefits of helping me sleep, it's perfectly acceptable. And actually, I've grown accustomed to it over time. There are currently only, how many come in the pack? 20 herbal tea, and there are 3 left. So I think that speaks volumes. And also, can I just say, I don't know if you can see this, but how actually pretty is the inside of the box? I'm not really into things like pretty boxes, but I love it. I love to be a bit whimsical and dreamy. I suppose it fits with the theme. But I highly recommend these. I feel that they help me sleep, but I think that's probably just a coincidence. Although having said that, some of the ingredients are similar to the things you'll find in herbal sleep remedies. I still go to them if I'm feeling like I really need to get a good night's sleep tonight, and I would rather go to this than go to, something that's got serious medicine in. So, highly recommend Pucker Nighttime Tea. Right, now I am going to go down the beauty footpath because my next favourite is foundation. Rimmel Match... Oh, I can't even tell if it's focused. Rimmel Match Perfection foundation. It's not that long ago that I didn't wear makeup at all. I've never been a big makeup fan. I don't think I wore any on a daily basis until I was over 30, and that was then I thought, God, you were starting to look a bit rough, love. So I just sort of slapped on a bit of mascara, and then gradually it's built up over time. As you can see, I don't wear a huge amount, but I did want to get into foundation. I'd always steered well clear of it. I was like, I don't want an orangey face, I don't want caked face. And then I started, I'm quite into my YouTube, and I saw a few of the people doing their makeup routines, and seeing their skin before and seeing their skin after they put foundation in blew my mind. So I decided that I needed to try it. I went with Match Perfection because I saw it recommended on a video and by somebody that also had very pale skin. The original shade I went with, I think, was Classic Ivory, and I found that I was looking a bit orange when I put it on. This one I bought this month to try a slightly lighter shade. So this is 103 True Ivory, and it's fantastic. I still think sometimes when I first put it on, it looks a bit, I don't know what the word is, grey rather than matching my skin. But once I've put it on, I can't tell, except that my skin tone looks a lot more even. And I think that is what foundation is supposed to do. So I love this. If you know any foundation that is also good for pale skin though, please let me know, because yeah, I have real pale skin. I'm going to drive you all mad now and do another beauty product, even though I said that I don't do many, because I had a new discovery this month in Batiste dry shampoo, but most importantly, fruity and cheeky cherry. I've always been a big dry shampoo fan. I have big curly hair, and drying it and straightening it regularly is an absolute nightmare. So I've always been a dry shampoo fan, because once it's dry and once it's straight, I don't want to mess with it. So I've used Batiste dry shampoo for years and years. I couldn't even remember, but I would guess probably about 10 years. But I always used to use Blush, I think it's called, Blush scent. And I went to the supermarket recently and they didn't have it. And I was literally terrified. Maybe not literally, but close to being terrified. And I looked at them all and I thought, I don't know which one. And I went with this one in the end, and I now use this cherry instead of the Blush. I love it. It's just something a bit different, I think. It's refreshing to have a different scent, and it's quite fruity, so if you're after something plain, it's not for you. You can definitely, as I'm walking around during the day, I can smell it. But that's what I really like. I love that it's just every so often throughout the day I get a waft and I think, oh yeah, it's smelling good. Equally, it is great for if your hair needs a bit of, after a couple of days when I don't want to wash my hair, but it's starting to go a bit lank. This literally just almost like it just shooks up all the yuck, and my hair can look almost as good as if it's just been washed. So another favourite from me this month, I decided to go with a song. I'm always a bit slow on songs because I'm not a big, I don't keep up to date with music. But this one I think is quite recent. My song this month is Adele, Hello by Adele. I'm sure all of you have heard it. It is extremely popular. I'm a big fan of Adele, but she makes me cry a lot. A lot of her songs, as I think they do to a lot of people, really hit the heart. And a lot of songs, when they come on the radio, I have to change the radio station. Otherwise, I know that I'm just going to cry and be a pathetic mess. Whereas Hello doesn't do that to me. Although it's got those sort of somber, sad tones, and it does tell a story, I don't feel quite as depressed, which is top marks, Adele. Or maybe she sees that as a failing. I don't know. So I wanted to finish off this time with doing a food. I am a real foodie. I love my food. I try to eat healthily, but it doesn't go to plan. I tend to eat the same foods all the time. I'm not very experimental. But recently I started doing shopping online for food, and actually I find that you have special offers are a lot more obvious to me. I'll often click special offers, whereas when I go in the supermarket, I have a list and I go to those places, so I'm almost quite blinkered. So online shopping makes me waste my money on special offers. There's a little hint for you, supermarkets. But the one thing that it has brought back into my life are Rocky bars. You'll notice this packet is unopened. That's because if it were opened, they would be gone. I'm not very good. If I eat one, they're so good that I just want to eat them all. And I hadn't had, before I bought these a couple of weeks ago, I hadn't had a Rocky bar since I was at school, literally years and years ago. And now I've eaten about 100 in the past couple of weeks. They are delicious. To me, I look at them and I go, oh, it's just a chocolate bar, you know, like a Kit Kat or a Penguin or anything else. But when I eat them, you don't just get the chocolate. I think it's because I'm a biscuit fan, and the biscuit in Rockies is incredible because they're Fox's biscuits. Oh. So yeah, it's not just you don't just get the chocolate fix, you get an amazing biscuit in there too. So that makes it to die for. So my next favourite for this month is an item of clothing. Now, I'm not a big clothes person, as you will recognise from my videos. I tend to be a hoodies kind of girl, but I try not to be that person. Not because I don't want to be, but sometimes I think you've got to look a bit smarter, you've got to look a bit more presentable. And this top, oh, can I get it far enough back that you can see it? I wore it in a recent video actually. I absolutely adore it because it is basically just a t-shirt, so I feel completely at home. But I think the design is just a little bit more grown up, even just down to having a zipper up here rather than just having it plain. And I think it's quite floaty and light, and it just comes across a bit more feminine. It is from New Look, and it is, as you can possibly see, part of the tall range. I am a massive 6 foot tall, so I really struggle with clothes shopping. And I believe that I bought this off eBay. I do a lot of shopping on eBay because it just gives you a lot more variety to choose from. If you're a tall girl, I mean, I have a 36-inch inside leg. So if I want to buy trousers, I can sometimes go to a shop. Well, you can't go to a shop. You go online and there'll be a few different choices of trousers. But if you go on somewhere like eBay, you've got tons of choices. So yeah, I do a lot of shopping on eBay, and this is possibly my favourite find on eBay ever. I think it cost me, well, I don't know how much it cost originally. I think it cost me £1.50, and I love it. It is such a lovely t-shirt, and it's perfect for, like I say, that sort of looking casual, but without being in hoodies and jeans. So yeah, love the owl top. And yeah, I'll show you close up because these owls, my word, are they cute. Check them out. So those are my favourites for this month. If you've got a favourites video, please do leave a link. I'm not a fan of people that leave links, but I'm asking for them. So you've got my permission, because I would love to see the kinds of things that other people put in their favourites videos. And then when I come to do one in December, I can improve and maybe be even better. That would be great. I'll see you next month. Bye bye.